Hi, welcome back to General Chemistry 1. I'm Dr. Fang Xu. In this video, let's talk about units. There are so many units there. So one set of unit that is widely used internationally is called SI units. So it's called System International Units. It is the most common unit set used in scientific world. Within SI units, there are 7 SI base units listed in this table. So you need to know, you actually need to remember what are these 7 SI base units. From this 7 SI base unit, we may have derived SI unit. Some of the units have more complicated compositions, but they are only made of a combination of the 7 SI base units. For example, is the unit meter per hour a derived SI unit? Okay, you may think, okay, this is meter is one of the 7 SI base unit and it has some kind of calculation within it. It looks like it's a derived unit. But however, this H, the hour, is not one of the 7 SI base units. So it's not, the meter per hour is not a derived SI unit. It's just a unit. Okay. Within SI units, we typically will talk about the metric prefixes. It's the prefixes based on the power of 10. Table 1.3 lists all the prefix and what's the value it corresponds to. You also need to know all of these prefixes and its corresponding value. The most commonly used prefixes are in the boldface. You need to master this table 1.3. So you may ask, if a SI unit, it comes with a metric prefix, is it still an SI unit? For example, meter is one of the SI unit, is kilometer and still an SI unit? The answer is yes. So an SI units with a metric prefix are still counted as SI units. Now we have two names. One's SI unit, one is metric prefixes. But most of the time, they are talking about the same thing. So metric units are SI units. It's just different names. Also, we have imperial units, or we call it standard units. This is another different unit set, a unit system that belongs to the imperial systems that are used in the United Kingdom and Commonwealth countries in old times. Like it came around in old times, but now mostly suspended by the metric systems. So if you talk about inch, feet, pound, ounce, and actually most units used in daily life in US are imperial systems. If you work in a mechanical shop, you probably will find 2 different sets of wrench. One is in the metric units, the other is in the imperial units or standard units. So make sure you don't mix them up because the exact value of these wrenches may not be the same. All right. Since we have different units, let's say the metric unit for length and standard unit for length, they still, both of them refers to a certain amount of length. So we can actually do the unit conversion to make one unit to value with one unit to a value with another. Unit conversion is one of the most commonly used skills in General Chemistry 1, so please make sure you understand it. When we do the unit conversion, we need to have 2 things. The first is 1 or multiple unit conversion factors, such as 1 inch equals to 2.54 centimeters, 1 feet equals to 12 inch, and so on and so forth. So remember these few standard unit conversions in the standard system and all the metric prefixes. Okay, on top of that, we also need a number in 1 unit. Here's an example. How many miles are there in 3.548 kilometers? In this case, I give you the unit conversion. 1 mile equals to 1609 meter, and 1 kilometer equals to 1,000 meter. One thing we can do, one method we can use is use the box method. This is very useful. So we're going to draw a line first and put the value, original value, in the first top column. Okay, it's the known value here. Now we can start to draw the box. And in the second column, we pick a set of unit conversion factor that contains the same value as the value you have here in the first column. So it's kilometers. We found this, 1 kilometers equals to 1,000 meters. We pick this unit conversion factor and put 1 kilometers, the same unit, in the bottom, and the other part on the top. So this is for the second column. The same thing with the third column. We pick unit conversion factor with the previous column, contains a unit, has the same unit in the previous column in the top position. So now here's a meter. In the lower part, we put the unit conversion factor with including meter here. So in the bottom third column, we put 1609 meters, and on top, it's another part of the unit conversion factor, 1 mile. Okay, so now you can see if we just look at the unit, in the very beginning, we have kilometers, and in the very end, now we have miles, the unit we wanted as an answer. And for the box method, each column corresponding to 2 values in the unit conversion factor. Okay, you need to be careful which one put in the bottom, which one is on the top. After we set up these numbers, we can remove this vertical lines and put multiplication symbol between the 2 numbers on top, and actually also should be 1 in the bottom. And then we can treat the central line as the division line. So we can cancel out and do some basic math calculation and cancel out the unit that's duplicated from top to bottom. So both kilometers cancel out and meters cancel out. And that's actually why we want to put kilometers in the bottom, because we want to cancel them out. What's left over is just a unit of mile. You do the calculation of math from here, what you get is 2.2051 mile. Okay, considering the significant figures here, because it's multiplication and division, and then the final answer is 2.205 miles. So this is the box method. You do the calculation of numbers, and you also do the calculation of units. Finally, not all of the unit conversion can be used for box methods. Like I would say 99% can be used. The only exception is when you ask to convert unit of temperature. The metric unit of temperature is Kelvin or Celsius, degrees C. The imperial unit or standard unit for temperature is Fahrenheit. Okay, maybe you're more familiar with the bottom one, but the conversion between the two is not straightforward. You need to use these equations. So this 4 equations are related to each other. The first 2 converts unit between Kelvin and degrees Celsius. There is a difference of 273.15 in the value. Okay, but the difference between 1 degree Celsius and difference between 1 Kelvin are the same. However, if you want to convert between degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit, you have to use this 9/5 prefactor and then plus 32. So vice versa. For this unit conversion equations in 3 and 4, if you meet that in the exam, it will be provided. For 1 and 2, you need to remember the difference of 373 between Kelvin and degrees Celsius. Here comes a question. The AC is set to cool at 33 Fahrenheit. A temperature sensor reads 26 degrees C. Should AC be on or off? So it actually asks you to compare two values, and because they are in the different units, we need to convert the unit into one set. We convert the degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. We use equation 3. So it's 9/5 times 26, the degrees Celsius, plus 32, and then the value is 78.8 Fahrenheit. Round it off. So we have 79 Fahrenheit. It's higher than the set point, and we want to cool this, the room, so the AC will be on. All right, this is the end of this video. See you next time.